Hello, my lovely Virgos. This is your horoscope for February 2025. And February will be making you focus on your better half, on your sweetheart, on your one and only. And if you are in a long term relationship, then on that person. Otherwise, those who are single, then it might give you opportunity this month to meet someone special or to focus on your business relationships and in general work relationships. There is a huge emphasis in your seventh house that rules like marriage, business relationships, and all other people actually with whom you have some sort of agreement on paper. Now, February 1st, we have Venus first, conjunct Neptune, planet of magic, and Venus, planet of love, in your seventh house. You see, already from the beginning of February, first Venus unites force with Neptune there in your seventh house, giving you this amazing sweet start to your February, making your thoughts and feelings even more sweet towards your wife or husband or towards your long-term partner. On 3rd of February, Venus goes and unites forces with North Node, same in your 7th house. Such a lovely connection. Now here in the beginning of February, those who are, single, you guys have great chances to meet someone which, whose energy will be very compatible to yours, and you might fall in love actually in the beginning of February, or you might be getting prepared or prepare something special for Valentine's Day. But let me tell you, this Valentine's Day this year won't be so much as pinky and rosy, seems like, but we will get to that point. Now, 4th of February, we have Jupiter, planet of luck and happiness, going direct in your 10th house, finally. Now, 10th house is the highest house in our chart, it's about achievements. It's about your reputation. It's about your influence and your career, like achievements. And Jupiter was sleeping in that area of your life, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't giving you chances to get promoted, to get seen, let's say, by VIPs or by CEOs. Everyone was noticing you. But when Jupiter sleeps, some things might have been delayed, especially your recognition, for example, or your promotion, or sort of your influence was on pause. But now, when Jupiter finally goes direct, it will all come back to its force, showcasing your talents and receiving congratulations to your work well done, my dear Virgos. Now, Jupiter naturally rules your 4th house of family in your chart, and it seems like even if there will be sort of movement within your career, your focus might be on your family or on your father specifically. There is some things might be going on with your father's life, and in the beginning of February, you might focus a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's about his health, or his work, or his reputation, or something related to someone who you respect a lot. If it's not father, then it can be, I don't know, your manager, your boss, for example. Now, 12th of February, we have electrifying, shocking full moon happening in your 12th house at 24 degrees. Those of you who are born 15th of September, plus or minus 5 days, will be affected the most by this full moon. And full moons are about conclusions, or they put light to some situation. This full moon happening in your 12th house, meaning your secrets are under risk, my dear Virgos. They might come out to light for everyone to see, or you might figure out someone's secret. Because 12th house is about secrets. It's a hidden house of the chart and your private sector, like where you value your privacy, where you want to hide things, everything that you don't want to show to the world and don't want to say to anyone. Now, and full moon, it's like a big bulb, of light, and it's putting exactly to that private chart part of your chart. And Uranus will be pretty active from your ninth house. Now, Uranus is electrifying planet. It's a planet of shocking situations, informations, and surprises. And here it will be sending harsh beams to that full moon. So I would tell you, guard well your secrets. Otherwise, they are easily coming to light, my dear Virgos. And 12th house is also house of travel. Some of you guys might travel around this full moon. Always allow full moons 10 days, 5 days before, 5 days after. So it's like 10 days to manifest. Maybe for, you might travel for Valentine's Day somewhere far, specifically, and somewhere that you've been before, actually, because Uranus is also touring your ninth house of travels and all things foreign related. Now, Uranus naturally rules your work house in your natal chart. It might be that you will have to travel for business, not even for pleasure, not even like there could be some interrupting situation. For example, you will be like, you might be preparing something for your sweetheart for Valentine's Day to spend together time or travel somewhere, but work related matters will be all of a sudden pressing, and you won't be able to actually present your surprises to your sweetheart, maybe at much later date for sure, but not around this full moon. And unfortunately, this full moon is falling 2 days before of this Valentine's Day. Seems like something will be urgent at work going on. Maybe it's a foreign client, or maybe, I don't know, some customer from far who won't be happy with your services or with a product that you sold, let's say, as an example, something will be a sort of shocking situation and will require your quick action there, fast decision. Because Uranus is like, with Uranus, you never know what it can be like. Actually, it might be also related to document situation, especially if you are waiting for documents for to like go for work, like immigrate somewhere, move to some other country, and let's say you applied for a work visa, then there could be some information coming out to light around this full moon related to those documents and papers. Now, 12th house is also house of rest, house of, and in general, it's a house of subconscious mind where we dig inside ourselves. It's about inside. It's so private. Plus, sometimes we're not able to deal with these 12th house matters, specifically like traumas, childhood traumas. All these things are in our 12th house. And Uranus is in ninth house, is the house of searching meaning of your life. And seems like here some meaning to what you do daily, like your work. For in some cases, you might say to yourself that enough is enough. You don't want to do this work anymore. You want to change your life completely. You want to, I don't know, drop everything. You want to leave it in your past. Something will be sort of changing in terms of your mindset here. And you might finally decide to quit your job. If not literally leaving and quitting your job, then like this kind of thought will come to climax. You will finally decide for yourself now that you are ready to move on to another job or to another, I don't know, professional area in general. Now, for some of you, it might be about some project, which also relates foreigners and also relates somewhere very far, whether it's your client sitting somewhere far, or, I don't know, your partner sitting far, or customers. Now, that project might end abruptly. All of a sudden, that project might finish for unforeseen reasons. With Uranus, you never know what kind of reason it can be actually. Also, 12th house, where this full moon is happening, in Uranus, that it rules your health house, sixth house. These two houses, they're all about health and well-being, and also surgeries. If you, like, some of you guys might actually have a surgery around this date, and that thing might come as a surprise too. that you will need this procedure, that you will need this operation. It might be that your doctor or some foreign specialist might be invited even by a doctor to consult about your situation, health situation. Could be also related to this. Now, Valentine's Day, your ruler, Mercury, goes into your seventh house. And again, this seventh house is hugely emphasized. As I said, seems like your mind totally on your love life, on your marriage life, if you're married, or on your long term sweetheart. And for some of you who are single, it's about business relationships. And Mercury here brings, again, all your thoughts, all communication with your sweetheart and one and only. Otherwise, your business partners. Because Mercury is your ruler and it rules all things that we think, speak, and hear also, write, everything that is, and it's occupying your seventh house now. For the next month, it will be there, and your mind will be around that topic. 18th of February, then Sun moves into your seventh house, illuminating this part of your life, even more putting warmth, even more making you pay attention, like a lot of attention to your sweetheart and your marriage life or your business partnership. If there might be, for example, if it's not about love, it could be about very important business partnership that you're trying to seal the deal, let's say. And it might be about that around mid of February, some news might come in, like your business partners traveling or seeing each other or agreeing on some terms of the business. And then when Sun moves there on 18th of February, it gets even more, like it catches your more attention, and you will spend more your energy around that. 23rd of February will be important, big day, and like in astrology and in our world, because Neptune, planet of magic and imagination, uniting forces with North Node, heavenly aspect. It's amazing aspect, exactly made to you because it's happening in your seventh house. You are one of the luckiest zodiac signs that having this connection in your seventh house in your chart. This is once in a lifetime aspect, because this aspect in your seventh house between these two happens, I don't know, once in our lifetime. It will never again happen while we live. Last time it was the same aspect in your seventh house. It was 16th century. Can you imagine? Back in 16th century. Oh my goodness, that's so long. So Neptune is a planet of magic and also unconditional love. And it's happening in your love house, marriage house, with your true node, North Node. North Node is about destiny. It's about fated events and fated people, and it's about opening new doors. And for some of you guys, it will be related to love. You might, if you will get married around this date, that marriage will stay forever, will stand the test of time. And for some of you, it will be about business. You might forge, or like you might make an agreement which will be truly beneficial in your life, that will change the course of your life for better. Actually, if you're going to open a business around this time, for example, but I don't actually advise you to open that business, but to make agreement, yes, because we have still Mars retrograding, plus Venus goes retrograde next month. Now, Neptune is unconditional love planet, and seems like if you are single and if you've been wishing to meet someone, end of February, the period that you need to be targeting to, so it seems like you might meet someone special here because it's connecting with your destiny. You are in luck, my dear Virgos here. And if you also have let's say court, some settlement, some lawsuit, you will win, my dear Virgos here. Angels are on your side. I'm really, really happy for you, my dear Virgos, because Neptune is something related like to oceans. It's boundaryless. It's like boundaryless, and it's like limitless. So your love for someone will be so deep and so magical. It will be feeling like magic, pure magic, my dear Virgos. And the same with business, you will feel that you are doing the right things and you are making the right decisions. Next day, February 24th, we have Mars going direct, finally, in your 11th house. Now, Mars was retrograding for almost 2.5 months. And in your 11th house of friendship zone, seems like you might have connected back to your old friends. For example, Mars is all about action. It's all about desire. And when it's sleeping, it's sort of helpless. It's it's not a much of a help in our life. So, universe in general seems like is telling us to rest, because even though and Mars and Jupiter will go direct in February, we have whole March and April retrograding Venus and Mercury. So those are like personal planets and they affect us directly. And that's why it's never good to initiate anything new while those planets are retrograding. Now, Mars here, when it goes direct, it will not be full force like as it used to be, as it is actually usually. And it will be back to its full speed only by May, my dear Virgo. So even until May, we will have sort of lagging Mars, but still, I'm happy that it's direct and finally moving and trying to gain its speed in your 11th house. Now, 11th house is all about wishes and hopes and future plans. And if you've been, let's say, hesitating about some plans for your future, by the end of February, it seems like you will finally see that you actually need to pursue those plans. And you might receive some sort of a proof that you will need to take some steps further in order to achieve your goals, because 11th house is all about that. And also 11th house is about online things, social media things. And if you've been pausing, again, something related to social media projects, you will pick it up from that point by the end of February when Mars goes direct. Now, Mars rules your 8th house of other people's money, like your wife or husband, or like family budget, or like even those money that comes from banks or loans and investments also, and inheritance. And here in your 11th house, it might be the case that if you've been not, let's say, seeing great results in your investment returns, then by the end of February, they should be better. They might get better. Now, February 25th, like end of February, we have pack like of 7th house activity, as I said before. Whole February in general. Now, 25th of February, we have your ruler, Mercury, conjunct Saturn, uniting forces with Saturn. Again, in your 7th house of marriage, 7th house of business partnerships. And seems like you might here make a final decision. Or there could be some sort of coldness by the end of February, or distance, either from your side towards your business partners or your long-term sweetheart, or either from their side. Or it could be some sort of a final decision. For example, in the beginning of February, if you met someone or if you started some business partnership and agreement, some talks to finalize some, let's say, papers and agreements, then by the end of February, you might decide already, when this Mercury unites forces with Saturn. Saturn in general, like, it's a planet of work. And Mercury is planet of ideas. So here, culmination should be reached. Now, 28th of February, we have new moon, new energy happening in your 7th house again. You see how 7th house is emphasized in your chart. Now, this new moon will be happening at 9 degrees, meaning those of you who are born 31st of August will be affected the most, plus or minus 5 days. Now, new moon will receive some even though not friendly beams from Jupiter in your career house, but I see it as an opportunity. You might have an opportunity uh, to get promoted, actually, or for a new job offer, or some new job talks might begin here, or some business agreement might begin here. Jupiter rules naturally your house of family. If you say that it's not about work, then it might be about your marriage. Here you might, there is like a new energy in your seventh house. Seems like some of you guys might decide to propose or get proposed here, or you might decide some things related to where you stand in this relationship, or what is the stance of this relationship, like long-term relationship that you have, whether you are taking it further, next step, more deepening and more responsibility, or whether you are breaking up. Could be both ways depending on your situation, my dear Virgos. Also, it could be even not your situation. For example, in some cases it might be your someone from your family situation, that they are getting married, or that they are getting deciding like what to do next, either to divorce, either to separate, either to get married, something like this, and you will be witnessing those changes. Especially it might be your father's life or your brother or sister. Now, this was your horoscope for February. Always check your rising sign. That's very important and mostly influential, usually. Also, moon sign too. Check all your three signs so that you compare which one is the strongest. But all of them, they play out, believe me. Love you all. Bye bye.